Everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing a Katana Chronicles vlog. It has been an incredibly long time since I've done one of these. Even longer since I've actually uploaded one, because I did like 2 of them that I just never edited and uploaded. Today is Free Comic Book Day as well as Cinco de Mayo. So kind of just going through the whole process. It's actually, I don't know what time it is right now. It's like noon, it's like 12 something. Doing the Free Comic Book Day stuff first, because I hardly drink anyway, so I'm definitely not going to be like the day drinker. But going to get free comic books, I'm going to buy some comic books. I'm probably going to end up buying the rest of Scott Pilgrim because I need that. Don't know what else I'm going to end up buying, but Scott Pilgrim is kind of the one thing on my list so far. Other than that, I don't know. Cinco de Mayo is supposed to meet my buddy, but that's pretty much it. So for now, going straight to comic books, and that's pretty much where we're going to be for most of this video. Stop 1 is officially complete. The first shop was Big Ben's Comic Oasis. I'm still in the parking lot currently. Went through, I got myself Worlds of Aspen, Dissension, War Eternal, and Nue. The guy looks like he's about to do martial arts, and the Dissension thing just looks insanely freaking cool, so I was like, gotta pick that up. Shadow Roads, that I was like, I have to read this. Whatever this is, I'm reading it, so I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, with my anime fandom, gotta get the My Hero Academia, which also has a little bit of the Ruby manga, which I've also read, and I got to pick it up because I know technically it ended. Oh, there it is, kind of in the back. I don't know if I've read this chapter though, so I have to see. But I like the manga. It's just it was like online only for illegal sites for a while, so I got to pick it up now that it's officially concluded. I don't even know if it's actually in English yet, but got to pick that up when it's actually out there. But I had to get those 3. It was 3 only, and then I got myself this, which I love already. But the Simpsons Futurama crossover. So that's awesome because I did not know that they had this. And it's like hardcover and everything. So I was like, I got to pick that up because I love the Simpsons. I love Futurama. I saw the crossover episode, of course, but I never actually read the comic because I knew there was a comic. But yeah, that's definitely super awesome. I don't know if it's the same story or not, so that should be interesting. But either way, it looks awesome. So I was like, I got to pick that up. So not sure exactly what the name of the next stop is, but I know visually where the heck I'm going. So 1 down, like 3 or maybe 4 more to go. So gonna head out, get some more of the Free Comic Book Day comics because there were a ton this year. I feel like there's always like maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7, but it felt like there were like almost like 2. It seemed like there were 2 dozen. They had a giant table. I was like, holy crap, there's way more this year. Some I noticed from last year, like a couple, but there were a ton, and I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of Free Comic Book Day comics this year. So gonna be picking up as many as I possibly can, kind of picking up a couple things along the way. Didn't have Scott Pilgrim, I didn't see it. Then came across Simpsons Futurama, so I was like, well, that's my purchase for this store. So that's stop 1, and we're gonna head to stop 2. 2 is officially complete. I'm at Hero Time Comics. Hero Time Comics, I really like when they do their stuff because they actually just give out like legitimate comics, not just Free Comic Book Day comics. And this year, I think they only had, I think this is the only Free Comic Book Day comic they had, which is Marvel Rising #0, which is pretty cool. And I just really like the art on this side. I didn't even realize it's the same characters, but different art on this side. So that's actually kind of cool. So once you pick this one up, I got The Amazing Spider-Man Go Down Swinging Part 2. I didn't realize that was Part 2, but I love Spider-Man, so Spider-Man. I have, this is I really loved, it's the Ultimate Avengers, because they were doing a thing where it was like you get 2 comics and you get a book, so this was really cool because I've never had this for Free Comic Book Day. So it's Ultimate Avengers, you got Blade, Daredevil, I'm not even sure who that is, and then Hawkeye. Pretty sure that might not even be Hawkeye. I don't know. It's vampires are in it and Blade is in it, and I was like, I gotta get that. So I got that. And then the old school comics I have the Amazing Spider-Man, which I had to get this not just because Spider-Man, but it has Nova and it has Punisher in it. So I was like, I always pick up the comics that have like other characters in them. It also says plus Darkhawk and Moon Knight. So that's crazy. You know, that's a thin comic to have all those characters in, but that's pretty sweet. So I like that. And then I got let's see, 4 copies of X-Men. So, you know, thought they all look good. I'm pretty sure these are all in order. So say Jennifer, March, April, yeah, May and June. So X-Man. I totally cannot remember this dude's name at all because I keep reading X-Man now, and it's like that's all I can freaking think. But I know who this is. This is like, if I remember, he's like Cable from a third alternate future or something like that, because there's Cable, then there's the other version of Cable, that's the bad guy, and then I think this is like the 3rd version of Cable. So he's one of the Summers alternate kids who exist, X-Men. But I went to get those because they were all in order in fairly good condition. And then the items that I bought this time around, I got this little Street Fighter pop figure keychain of Akuma because I thought it looked cool, supposedly only at GameStop. So I got this, and then I got this little Neo silly figure. This makes me think of freaking Invader Zim. The way these are designed, and I got a Tron one too. The way these are designed makes me think of Invader Zim. But I picked them up because, as I mentioned, at least I think I mentioned, I'm trying to buy something at every store this year, so I wanted to do that. So I got those little items. I was just gonna get this, but I'm using my card because I don't have cash, so it was like you gotta have a limit. So I was like, I'll just get 3 then. But definitely like these, so these will be up somewhere. But off to store 3. The other store I wanted to go to is closed, and I thought they were, but I thought they moved down the street, and they did not. They're just gone. So I basically have like one more stop unless I can find another place to go to. So either I am just about finished and I need to call my buddy because we're supposed to meet up. We're going to Green Brain Comics in Dearborn, which if you're in the Dearborn area, or if you're in like the Detroit area, you probably know Green Brain because it's fairly huge. They always do stuff there. So they're doing like a whole thing, and that's going until like 5 o'clock, and it's 2:12 or like 2:10 now. So I'm gonna go there, and then maybe actually I might just stop and get some food first. That way I can wait for my buddy. He'll have some time to get dressed or whatever he's doing, and then we'll just screw around there. I might actually get some footage there because obviously I haven't at the other 2 stores. I was just kind of in and out. But I might do something there because there's always a ton of people, and they actually have like events going. They have like tables in the back where you can buy stuff from designers and things like that. So I'll probably actually get some real footage there. Lady next in the car next to me just looked right at me. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here and probably get some food outside of this giant delicious cookie. This cookie is so good. It's from Noodles and Company. You should get their cookie. It's called like a snoodle or something. It's like maple brown sugar and cinnamon. It's ridiculous. It tastes like you're dying, but it also tastes really good. So there's that. All right, stop number 3 is absolutely complete. Of course, Green Brain Comics is kind of like the final stop. I don't know if this will be my last stop. I'm gonna check to see if there's any in the area, because I would love to hit like one more store to get a few more of the comics that I saw that interested me. But definitely got a lot of good stuff. I have, so actually I'll just show you guys instead of saying it. So I have Silver, obviously, vampires, Katana. That's pretty much all I need. Plus she reminds me of X-23, so that doesn't hurt at all. So I thought that looked cool, so I'm gonna check that out. The Mall, which is an 80s coming of age crime story. So that just seemed interesting. This dude totally looks like Ryan Reynolds, or am I just like insane? Oh, Stabbity Bunny. I might have to check that out too because that seems funny. But yeah, that seemed interesting, so I was like, gotta check that out. Give me those, GTA Vice City vibes, which is my favorite. Of course, had to get The Legend of Korra. I'm really behind. I haven't read like any of the Korra comics, and honestly, I need to catch up on the Last Airbender comics too because I only know like the first story, and I think I know like the first 2. I know the very first one, which was like the war or the battle or whatever, and then the search, which is great. If you have not read the search, you need to, because that is the story of Zuko's mother. It's the search. So if you haven't gotten that story, you've been like, when are they going to do that? They did it. It's a comic, so you need to check that out. One of the mature comics I got, this is after I made my purchase, which I'll show you guys, was Secret, and this is chapter 1, Teeth with Which to Eat. And that's just it. It's just that, and I'm curious, so check that out. This is also the poster. Every year Green Brain does a poster, so of course they went with Black Panther. They always have like the column there because I believe they had that last year too. I just can't remember. I think Wonder Woman was on it last time. So this makes perfect sense, and it just fits perfectly to have like a Black Panther on top of it. Fun fact: Black Panthers aren't a real animal; they're just black cougars. They just became called Black Panthers. I don't became called doesn't sound right either. Anyway, got DC Nation. The summer of events starts now. It's 3 all new stories for only 25 cents. That's definitely cool. So this is specifically presented by Green Brain Comics, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to definitely check that out. And this is one of the ones I got just because it got purchased. So it was one of the free Comic J comics, but show some of the more mature stuff. This is Astounding Villain House, one of the ones I also got because of the purchase. Pretty sure this is one of the mature ones too. So definitely curious how this is going to end up playing out. So check that one out. Then, of course, got to have your Marvel Universe. Once again, this is actually because of the purchase stuff. We got the new Ghost Rider back there. I mean, he's not new, but newish. He's the newest, I believe. So Robbie Reyes. Doctor Strange back there, like medieval times Strange. That's cool. She-Hulk looking like regular Hulk. Thor yeah, you know, I guess I won't talk too much about like current comics and everything, but it looks like old school Thor, which is interesting. Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain America, they all look old school as well. Like none of that stuff looks like their current costumes. And then of course Captain Marvel. That's interesting. I don't know if they're changing up styles or what the deal is. It's Marvel. They got 100 million things going on. Yeah, Thor #1, so I guess he's back to his old ways. Oh, Venom #1. So that is what I got for the free comics, and then I did end up getting my Scott Pilgrims. So I got Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness, and then Scott Pilgrim Gets It Together. Learned about this, which seems really cool. Sola issue 1. It just came out on April 4th. Love this because that's freaking awesome. But it says if you're in search of a new Miyazaki-inspired fantasy adventure, that hits me. So I was like, I got to pick that up for sure. Another thing that I just saw that I never heard of before, Deadly Class. That looks so sweet. I just saw the cover and I was like, that seems so interesting. But it was like book 1. Book 2 comes out in October, so I was like, I'm gonna put a thing in my phone and I'm just gonna buy both books, and I'll just be like, here's just like $100 or whatever, and I'm just gonna get both books at once and just read through the whole series up to date, or close to it, because it comes out. It's just like how I buy The Walking Dead with the compendiums, and I'm waiting for that to end. I saw some stuff. I saw some of the new covers with the New World Order stuff. I was like, that looks interesting. So excited for the compendium 4 to come out, and then I have like the whole series in just giant stacks. So I think I still got like, I want to say I think I have another year and a half before that last one comes out, because it takes 2 years for the compendiums. So I got a minute before I get to keep going with that. But definitely have fun. I mean, actually, I'm legitimately starting this one. I should have just left the door open, but people were walking past and everything, and I thought I would do this much shorter. But I had a good time in there, shot around. I think I'm gonna start doing books. I'm gonna start buying by book, like every other month or something. I'm just gonna buy a new series that looks sweet based on the cover, and just buy like the first full set. So that is, oh crap, I don't want to crush my paperbacks. That is Green Brain. I'm gonna put all this stuff in the trunk. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna go to another store next, so I'm gonna look it up, because there was one that was like 10 miles away as I was driving here, and this one was like 5 miles. So hopefully I went 5 miles in the right direction. So that's only 5 miles from here. So I'll do that. I still have to figure out my whole deal for food, because I am gonna go out for Cinco de Mayo. My buddy wants to go. Of course, we're in Detroit, so Southeast Detroit. It's called Mexican Town, and it's bonkers out there. So that's where he wants to go. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna head to his place, and then we'll take his car from there. And I just gotta like throw all my crap in the trunk. And I really wish I wore a hoodie now. Like I wore my actual jacket, which is fine. Like I can survive it. It's actually a lot warmer than I thought, because when I first got out, I was like, oh, it's okay. Like I can survive in my jacket. Like I'm probably have to take it off. As soon as I drove like maybe 10 minutes to the gas station, I was like, yeah, it got hotter. Like and I left at like noon, so it just got warmer. And I was like, okay, jacket's been off ever since then. I'm like, yeah, I probably should have just done the hoodie thing, but I think no matter what I wore, I would have been way too hot if I wore anything outside of just my t-shirt, which went Resident Evil today with my Resident Evil hat, just because nerd stuff. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if I'm going to another store, so the next shot will either be me at another comic book store, or me just, getting more comics from another comic book store, or Cinco de Mayo. I got like this little Munchkin card for the game Munchkin X-Men, and it was X-23, which I love because she's like one of my favorites. She might officially be my favorite. It was always Wolverine, just because out of the X-Men at least, it was always Wolverine, just because he was the first person where it was like, oh, you can be a good guy but still kill people. And then X-23 came along, and she was that, but also hot and also faster. So she has like the strength, she's more the speed element than the strength element that he has. And I always like super speed more, even though she doesn't obviously have super speed, faster, plus just different moves. I mean, she has a blade in her foot, so it's like that just looks cool. So X-23. I'll probably screw this card up. It doesn't really matter. It's just a card for a game I don't even own. But thought that was awesome. I was like, of all the cards, I got X-23. So, random. It's the Handlebar Detroit. I'm officially with the Anarchists, by the way. We were just at the, where the heck were we at? What the heck is the name? I forgot the name. I recorded it already, so you saying the name now. That's the name. Something Basement Vintage. It had a sweet name, too, and I forgot. But yeah, we are.
I narrate your shit, but you can't run me.
It's so I gotta. Hopefully, it's good. All the noise, all the people screaming on their Detroit, their pedal bars, handlebars, and stuff. They'll be drunk and tired in like 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, I give it 30 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah,
they pedaling and drinking and yelling. Shit.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you gotta get that.
Yeah, it's the Art of the City. I did not know that was the Shepherd Ferry thing in there, the Obey. Shepherd, you know Obey? Like when you see the signs that say Obey, it's like the Shepherd Ferry is the guy who does. That's the artist name.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that was in there. I saw it from far away last time I was down here. But yeah, art in the city. It is of course Cinco de Mayo. This I'll probably split this up into 2 parts though. The first video was the nerdy comic book day stuff, but part 2 officially nerdy.
Like a nice little vlog.
It might be super long. I don't know how I'm gonna chop it up, but either this is part 2 or this is just part 2 of the day, because it's officially Cinco de Mayo celebration now. We did our last comic book store. Where the heck are we going? Yeah, I don't know. We're going somewhere. Oh no, if we're going back to Greektown, we need to go like this way. Yep. So we're all turned around. But going back, put up the comics, then we're probably gonna hit up Ready Player One arcade, and then figure it out from there. Just celebrate. We might meet up with our friend because we just ran into her for comic book day. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens.